Welcome back to another episode of Unsolved Clue. In this segment, we're going to talk about something really spooky. It's a story that's given rise to some seriously terrifying events. We're diving into the realm of the paranormal, discussing an object that's been possessed by a demonic spirit, causing all sorts of eerie and horrifying occurrences. It's the kind of thing you'd expect to find only in movies and stories, but strangely enough, it exists in the real world too. And guess what? It's been responsible for cursing many people and might even be linked to their unfortunate demise. So, get ready to explore a tale that defies belief and has left many scratching their heads in disbelief. The most famous one, Annabelle doll. Maybe you've seen the horror movie Annabelle? The story of a doll possessed by a demonic spirit, but guess what? Did you know that the movie's story is actually based on reality? Pretty spooky, huh? This doll actually exists, and it's been the cause of some seriously terrifying things happening to a bunch of unfortunate folks. But here's the thing, the doll's appearance isn't as horrifying as in the movie. Don't be fooled by its mischievous look because it has pulled off some unimaginable stuff that'll boggle your mind. If you've seen the Conjuring movie series, you probably know about a couple named Ed and Lorraine Warren. In real life, they were the folks who dealt with ghost hunting and helped people facing supernatural issues. When Ed and Lorraine would solve these paranormal problems for folks, they would grab the source of all the trouble and keep it locked away in their museum. But in an interview with Lorraine, she reveals that the most horrifying and demonic item in their museum is the Annabelle doll. It's so unsettling that even she herself feels uncomfortable around it. That's why they've secured Annabelle in a box that's been sanctified through various methods. They've even got a priest who blesses that space, especially the box, every week, just to make sure that the demon within Annabelle stays trapped inside that doll and doesn't get out. The story of Annabelle kicks off in the 1970s when someone gives a doll as a gift to a nurse. Poor nurse really takes a liking to this doll, like talking to it every day and carrying it around wherever she goes. She gets pretty attached, you know? But after a short while, both the nurse and her roommate start noticing some weird, creepy stuff happening in their house. Things that aren't normal at all. So, they decide to reach out to a medium, a person who can communicate with spirits and have chats with them. They're like, "Hey, why is this going down like this?" They're looking for some advice and answers about why things are getting so darn strange. So, after looking into the doll, this person tells them that inside that doll is the spirit of a 6 or 7-year-old girl who had a tragic accident. Supposedly, when she died, she was holding on to this doll, and she's feeling all alone and in need of help. The name she's giving is Annabelle. But guess what? That's all a bunch of baloney. That spirit has been pulling their legs, and since they didn't know squat about the real demon hitching a ride in that doll, they're like, "Aw, poor thing," and they decide to keep the doll, treating it like a little sacred treasure. After a while, some really strange things start happening. Like stuff moving around on its own, dishes breaking for no reason, the Annabelle doll shifting around, or even hearing laughter out of nowhere. But the real trouble starts when her roommate, who was asleep, wakes up in a fright. She tells the owner of Annabelle, "I had this dream where Annabelle slowly came over my head and started choking me." But the owner, she picks up the doll and tells her roommate, "Come on, it's just a doll. It can't do anything like that," and she tosses it toward the room. Oh boy, that was a seriously bad move to make. Because right after that incident, things take a nasty turn. The nurse starts getting scratched and marked on her body, like actual claw marks, and that's when they finally realize that this spirit ain't no innocent 6 or 7-year-old girl. Nope, it's a powerful, wicked, and devilish spirit that's capable of dishing out physical harm. Man, they've got a seriously nasty demon on their hands, not some cute kid ghost. After that incident, they managed to find Ed and Lorraine through their investigation. This couple takes the doll from the nurse's house and places it in their museum. But initially, they're not fully aware of how dangerous this doll can be. So, they don't put it in a box right away, nor do they take enough precautions. They just place it on a chair like it's no big deal. One day, a priest visits the museum, spots the doll, and asks Ed and Lorraine to tell him its story. Ed starts explaining the whole deal, getting to the part where the doll was strangling the nurse. This confident priest, thinking that his faith is strong enough, goes ahead and does the exact same thing that the girl did. He tosses the doll, saying, "It's just a doll, and God's power is way greater than this." He's all full of himself, believing that this doll can't do anything. And it even worries Ed, who tells him, "You shouldn't have messed with it. You should have stuck to the ritual." But the priest remains defiant, pointing to the power of God. But here's the kicker: on his way back home, he gets into a terrifying accident, ending up in the hospital. And when he finally returns home, he calls Ed and says, "You were right. I shouldn't have messed with that cursed doll." Even after the accident, Annabelle's face in the mirror was what caused my fear and crash. What should I do to get rid of this demon? But the Annabelle story doesn't end there. Even after all this, they put Annabelle in a box and write on it, "Do not touch." But after a while, a group of teenagers visit the museum. One of them asks about Annabelle, and this one guy starts making fun of it. He starts tapping the box, saying he can do whatever he wants, being a real smart aleck. Ed kicks them out of the museum right then and there. But guess what? On their way back, they get into a car accident. And that guy who was mocking Annabelle, he never makes it back home. When they ask his girlfriend what happened, she says that he suddenly got scared and lost control of the car. And according to her, after that incident, he kept seeing the face of the Annabelle doll in his dreams all the time. And that was the end of this episode. I would be really happy if you could like the video and follow the Unsolved Clue channel. Doing this helps us make progress and stay motivated to create higher quality and more engaging videos for you, our dear audience.